Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Yes, good morning, good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the first time wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be. There you are. That's right. That's right. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. In my office, where I am, it's August 24th, Sunday, August 24th, and 70 degrees. No humidity. Slight hum of the air conditioner just kicked in as I was saying it. I guess it didn't want to be neglected. But on the other side of this wall, just 9 inches away, it's 72 degrees with an 18% chance of rain, a mild breeze, gentle breeze. But it feels like 1968 with about 3% chance that the National Guard will make an appearance on my street. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, OBS, MCM, People have also called me the racy Reverend and pervert pastor of all vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the duty banging brother, the handsy high priest, Father Fistmas, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating that twat and that nasty N-word. And the point is that I come by many names and by many methods. I do not come easy. I do not. Lord, no, Lord. So let us begin, as always, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! That's right, brothers and sisters. Thank you. Oh, goodness. I'm in such a good mood today. Mainly because I'm delirious. I am working on a minimal amount of sleep. I will tell you about it a little later. And that's a sample of what we're in for. Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't get a lot of sleep this morning or last night. It kept getting broken up into sections. It's little bits like first of all, I'm gonna tell you I was Mr. Fenderson, GD Fenderson, his wife, myself, and my wife. We were invited to a birthday party, and yesterday for mutual friends, actually people who had attended one of my shows and some of GD's shows, as a matter of fact. So they'd been to both of our shows. They had a birthday party and they invited us. So we went. And GD could not remember the time that the party started. So he goes through his text and he sees 7 o'clock because he's looking for a specific time. He's looking for a time for it to start. And he says 7. And he says to his wife, it starts at 7. And his wife says, isn't that a little late for a birthday party? Well, first of all, these are grown people. It's not like a child's party. And he goes, no. Turns out she was much more right than he was. He arrives at 7 and he's looking and thinking, oh, I'm early. Nobody's here yet. Let's sit out in the car for a little bit and chill. So he does that, and he sees the door open. He goes out. They walk inside, hands the card, starts talking to people, and then Carol turns around and yells at GD. She goes, "We missed the party," and GD goes like, "What?" And then he looks and sees that half the food is gone. The cake's been cut. There's only 1/3 of the cake is only 1/3 of the cake is there. And he's looking around, not looking around. We're putting these things together. It's like, oh shit, how did we miss the party? And so the young lady goes, it started at 3. It's like, 3? We didn't arrive till 7. Okay, 7. It started at 3. It ended at 6. Or 6:30. We got there at 7. They were cleaning up. That's why. Oh, I was so embarrassed. First of all, I was embarrassed because, unlike GD, okay, I don't like being late. I don't like being late for shit, especially if I'm going to an event where I'm likely to be one of only 2 black people, and GD is like the other one. Because then I don't like to perpetuate the myth of CPT. And so I show up early, and I don't like being late. And when that motherfucker, when GD got the wrong time, not the wrong time, but damn near the wrong time zone, like 4 hours late, that puts a whole meaning to CPT. That's not even CPT. That's more like mañana time. That's like, I see you ass tomorrow. That's what that's, at least, you know, at least we didn't show up empty-handed. We had gifts, you know, okay? Had gifts. But damn it. We drove to Pennsylvania for this, you know? And so we got there, turned around and came back. But, yeah, so after that, then I don't know what happened. We got back. We didn't eat there, because they were putting the food away, and they offered us food. It's like, no, don't feed us now. You're putting the food away. No, it's like, we still got plenty of food. Like, no, don't feed us. We'll leave. We turned around and came back, and then kind of tired, took a little nap. Or not the 4 of us. That'd be kinky, or Tuesday, but we didn't do that. So at any rate, exhausted. I didn't start working on this today. I didn't start working on this until 9:30 last night, and around 11:30, 12 o'clock, I said, I'm tired, and I got to go to bed, and I'll just wake up early on Sunday, and I will write my sermon, and at least I'll get the obituaries right, you know. So I got through the obituaries, and then at 4:30 in the morning, I learned that there was another death. Well, actually, they had already died. But I said, well, I got to put this in because this guy is important to some people. So I added it on. And it's a little short one, but at 4:30 in the morning, you know. But at any rate, the point is, it's time for opening prayers. And our opening prayers, as always, is sponsored by Tantallee. If you need an opening, Tantallee has your opening needs. Now, if you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer or healing, forgiveness, or any such request to me at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. It's scrolling across the bottom. And if you're looking at it, you see my name in the corner. That's how you spell it, just without the spaces, because it's email, okay? So it's drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. And please, please, please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, one of those other people who use jelly roll like it's some kind of catchphrase with no meaning. They use the jelly roll like it's, you know, just, I'm cool. I'm really cool. Look at me. I'm a jelly roll. Instead of it being their name, you know, they're just using it to get your attention. Okay, one of those people who don't care about your blessings, they don't care about your prayers, they don't care about your well-being, they don't care about all they want is your money to buy their tickets. Me, I say, yes, you can buy my tickets, but I will care about you even after you do. Or even if you don't, because that's my job. My job is to care about you. That's right. Now for our disclaimer. And what the hell? I can't read that. But oh yeah, somebody from Kick. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you for wanting to help me with my subscribers. God bless you, Mr. That's right. I don't even know how they pronounce that, Mr. Kick. And just for the record, that N word is not Napo. The N word is neglect. Neglected, yeah. And some people just say nig for short. That nagger, that neglected person. Okay. Now, a disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. And again, that's attorney speak for it's been applied. Don't be surprised if your shit's not answered, because we did apply those loopholes and restrictions. But it's not my fault. I'm not in charge of answering prayers. I'm just in charge of forwarding them. I forward the prayers. That's what I do. I forward the prayers. I lift them up. I deliver the prayers. But it's not me who answers the prayers. I just deliver. I raise them up. That's right. So, brothers and sisters, please bow your head unless you are driving your car or your significant other. Because if you're driving your significant other and you bump and you bow your head, you may bump into theirs. So don't do that. Or you could bump into their knee, okay, or bump into a butt cheek. We don't know. But there could be a collision, okay? Flesh to flesh collision. So don't bow. If you're busy doing that, don't bow. Just close your eyes. Pretend you're with me, okay? That's right. Close your eyes and pretend you're with me, and let Jesus do the grinding and driving while we pray. Dear Lord, please bless the Funks. That's right. Please bless the Funks. Marty and his daughter Jenna both celebrated birthdays this week. Happy birthday to you, Jenna, and to you, Marty. May all of your guests arrive and leave on time. That's right. Can I get a note for being late? And a better excuse than because G.D. Fenderson can't tell fucking time. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Terrence Stamp, British actor Terrence Stamp, who famously played arch-villain General Zod in Superman and Superman 2, died on August 17th. We are still waiting for a cause of death. Kryptonite poisoning has not been ruled out. He was 87. Stamp started his film career with the 1962 seafaring Billy Budd. Stamp earned an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of Billy Budd, a Golden Globe Award for Most Promising Male Newcomer, and an Oscar Mayer for Best Wiener. During his six-decade acclaimed career, Stamp starred in films including Pier Paolo. I'm sorry. The movie's called Theorem. I can't pronounce the fucking guy's name anyway, so fuck it. Theorem, Season in Hell, and The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, in which he played a transgender woman. Quote, from wearing the high heels, okay, this quote is from General Zod. From wearing the high heels, my spine was completely out of alignment, and it took me about 6 months to get my spine reorchestrated. That's okay. He said that he told that to CBS News. I just find it peculiar that he finds that he uses the term reorchestrated to define his spine from being out of alignment from wearing high heels. I know a lot of women who wear high heels, and not one of them has ever described the experience as being unorchestrated. And I know. I've heard painful as shit. I heard hurt like a motherfucker. Never heard unorchestrated, but he had to reorchestrate his spine. I'm sorry, just the terminology. I'd never heard that word being used that way, reorchestrated, and I may start applying it that way. Maybe I could reorchestrate my life. No, we'll see. I guess that's when you're British, you can use words like that, the way just like that. You can use words like that. Okay. Stamp was also widely praised for his lead in director Steven Soderbergh's 1999 crime drama, The Limey. Stamp's most high-profile role was likely as General Zod, the megalomaniacal leader of the Kryptonians. He wasn't the leader of the Kryptonians. No. See, that's a mistake there. He was a general in there. He was not a leader of the Kryptonians, unless you talk about the 3 Kryptonians that attacked Earth. But Superman was also a Kryptonian, and he was not Superman's leader. See, they need to get their fucking facts straight. Where are my nerds when I need them? Why didn't they let a nerd write? Why didn't they let a nerd write that who'd have gotten it right? That's how I would have to correct it on the fly, because I'm just reading this for the first time. Okay, he was not the leader of the Kryptonians. In 1978, Superman and its 1980 sequel, Superman 2. He returned to the Superman world when he played Jor-El in the TV series Smallville. See, so since General Zod killed Jor-El, Stamp's cause of death may wind up being a suicide, because he played both people and he killed himself. That's rest in peace, Terrence. May you avoid a season in hell, and also avoid the Phantom Zone. Can I get a kneel before Zod? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Jules Witcover. Jules Witcover, old school political reporter, author of 20 books, and writer of hundreds of columns, died August 16th in his Georgetown home on Q Street, where he lived with his wife, Marion Elizabeth Rogers. His cause of death was cardiovascular disease. He was 98. For more than half a century, Witcover wrote for newspapers, most notably the Baltimore Sun, of which I was a subscriber and a delivery boy for with that paper, the Washington Star, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, and the Newark Star Ledger. And there may be a TikTok short explaining to you young people what a newspaper was. Among his most traumatic moments in reporting was his standing a few feet from Senator Robert F. Kennedy when he was fatally shot in 1968. The other traumatic moment was when he realized that they shot the wrong RFK. One of the last columns Witcover wrote was in defense of Joe Biden, which the Georgetowner published in 2023 and Trump had rewritten in 2025. Al Hunt, quote, Al Hunt, a Bloomberg columnist and former Wall Street Journal correspondent, told the Washington Post in 2019 when the updated Biden biography was published, and he says, I quote, I think at a time when mainstream political journalism was at its peak, there was no better practitioner than Jules Witcover. And there's a whole body of work that few, if any, can ever equal. End quote. Rest in peace, Jules. Bye-bye to your bylines. Can I get a press pass? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Joe Karoff. Joe Karoff passed away on August 17, 2025. The graphic designer was known for creating the James Bond 007 logo for the first entry of the franchise in 1962. He was 103. Karoff was supposed to celebrate his 104th birthday a day after his sudden death. Really? 103 and his death was sudden? And he was in the hospice? No, that's not. I'm sorry. If you are 103 years old and you're living in a hospice, it's not a sudden death, okay? The reason why you're in hospice is because they're expecting you to die. That's like saying I got in my car and I put in the GPS, I'm going to the store, and then I suddenly arrive at the store? No, that was the destination. When you put somebody in hospice, you have set their destination. They have set the GPS for death. That's why they're there. They've hopped in the car, they've hopped in the hospice, and the GPS is set for death. It is not a sudden occurrence. Sorry. Where was I? Karloff was supposed to celebrate his 104th birthday a day after his sudden death and was in hospice care for some time. In hindsight, it would have been better to celebrate his 104th birthday a day or two earlier and maybe whisper surprise. The actual cause of death remains unknown. Apart from James Bond, Joe had the opportunity to prepare the posters. Fuck it. I'm going to read that again from the top because I want a good cut edit point for when I do the TikTok shorts. Take two. Apart from James Bond, Joe had the opportunity to prepare the posters for other projects like West Side Story and A Hard Day's Night. A Hard Day's Night is not a porn movie. It's a Beatles movie, not porn. But don't Google it because the Beatles will not be the first thing that pop up. I guarantee you, I can prove it. I can show you my history. Karloff said during an interview on James Bond in the Making, that was the name of the interview, James Bond in the Making, that he was planning to add something decorative. For those of you on the radio, I did the bunny quotes, the bunny ears. See, when I said decorative, that way you know I was quoting. See, decorative. He was planning to add something decorative while preparing the logo for the iconic character. Karloff further added, quote, I knew Bond's designation was 007, and when I wrote the stem of the 7, I thought, that looks like the handle of a gun to me. It was very spontaneous, no effort. It was an instant piece of creativity, close quote. Joe Karloff was hired for Dr. No, which had Ian Fleming portraying Bond, and Joe was paid $300 for his work on the logo, where he added a barrel and trigger to the code 007. However, Joe was never mentioned anywhere in the franchise for all of these years, and that's a lot of years. First one was 1962 and it's 2025. And he did not receive any royalties for his contribution. Now that's fucked up. And rest in peace, Joe. You received 00 when it came to recognition for your work. Can I get you an attorney? Posthumously. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Frank Caprio. Judge Frank Caprio. What the fuck did I write here? All right, I'm sorry. Judge Frank Caprio died following a long battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 88. The former chief judge of the Providence Municipal Court and star of reality courtroom show Caught in Providence died. It says yesterday, but it's not yesterday. It's got to be like a couple days ago. He had revealed his diagnosis to his followers in late 2023 and had been undergoing treatment, even completing a final round of radiation treatment on May 24th. And you know something? I skipped it. I did not edit this. I didn't edit this. I'm sorry. because I would have like put like some of those smart ass remarks after some of these sentences. That's the problem with being sleepy. I apologize, children. Fuck. Like this, I'm reading for the first time, just like you. Oh, fuck. Where was I? It doesn't matter. The point is, he's dead. He had grandchildren, and he had a wife for like he was married to for over 60 years. And fuck it, I messed up. I look. Yeah, I know. Look at that. There's no ending. I don't even have a fucking ending. I don't have a rest in peace or anything. Damn it. Rest in peace, Frank Caprio. I fucked up. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I know that was your job, but don't judge me. I must have been really tired. And I don't know what else I'm going to find now. Now I'm scared. I'm scared to get through the rest of this shit because I don't know what I'm going to find. Where else did I fuck up? Oh, Lord. Dear Lord, please bless Brother James Dobson. But only if you have to. Seriously, only if you have to. Those of you, okay, James Dobson, a politically influential child psychologist and hypocrite who started a radio show counseling Christians on how to be good parents, founded the conservative ministry Focus on the Family, and was a campaigner against abortion and gay rights, died on this past Thursday, which would have been the 21st. He was 89. His death was confirmed by the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute and by his corpse. I think his corpse is a more credible witness than the rest of the institute. While his cause of death is undisclosed, and I'm okay with that, it is known that his soul left his body when he endorsed Donald Trump for president. It's a miracle that he survived this long without his soul. Dobson founded Fuck Us and the Family in 1977, which had more than 1,000 employees and many, many more politicians who used it for cover while cheating on spouses, fathering illegitimate children, paying for abortions, practicing gay sex to the point that they were no longer practicing but actually good at it, and child molesters. Fuck Us and the Family gave Dobson a platform to weigh in on legislation, advise White House panels, and advocate against laws to ban conversion therapy to cure gay people. That's right. He was saying, no, don't you dare stop ban conversion therapy. We need conversion therapy. You know who needed it the most? Your fucking followers. They needed to be converted to something closer to truth and less hypocritic, less lying. Damn it. Dobson served on President Donald Trump's Evangelical Executive Advisory Board because Trump is so righteous. Dobson left Fuck Us and the Family in 2010 and founded the institute that bears his name and continued with the Family Talk radio show, which is nationally syndicated and is carried by 1,500 radio outlets with more than 500,000 hypocrites. Listeners weekly, according to the Institute for Hypocrisy in Religion, which I may have made up that last organization. But it feels real, doesn't it? Dobson would find Jesus Christ in Trump's nomination, defending support for the impious businessman by saying Trump was merely a baby Christian. Trump was merely, quote, a baby Christian, close quote. Dobson realized that even a flawed candidate who could pay conservatives lip service and give them like-minded judges was still better than an avowed liberal who would protect the rights of religious and racial minorities. What the fuck? That's right. That man, James Dobson, said having Trump for president was better than a president who would protect the rights of the religious and racial minorities. What the fuck? Do not rest in peace, James. I repeat, do not rest in peace, James. May you and your works disappear from our sight and our memory. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by. Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by.
See, those two things are right next to each other. So if you got your finger like here, you could get instead of fuck yeah. That's right. That's what happens. Especially since he didn't know I was going to do the fuck yes. Because I do that at certain places and I didn't warn him because I'm fucking sleepy. Dear Lord, please bless. Okay, and this is the late edition. I learned about this 4:30 this morning. 4:37 to be precise is when I learned about it. Dear Lord, please bless Humpy Wheeler, okay? NASCAR legend Humpy Wheeler, who appeared in 2 Disney films, has died of natural causes while surrounded by his family. Really? That's their story. Natural causes while surrounded by his family. Okay, there's one born every minute. He was 86. Humpy, whose real name is Howard Augustine Wheeler Jr., is best known as the longtime president of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Wheeler was an executive at NASCAR and also worked in stock car racing and IndyCar. And over the years, he earned the nickname of the P.T. Barnum of NASCAR. I guess there's a NASCAR fan born every minute. In 2006, Wheeler voiced Tex, a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, in the animated Pixar film Cars. I guess they couldn't find a black actor to do that job. Who's doing black jobs now? Tex was the boss of fictional motor racing sponsor Dynaco, a role he reprised in 2017 release Cars 3. It's rumored that Humpy got the nickname Humpy from his dad, who used to call a football player Humpy. When the junior Wheeler was born, he was given the nickname Little Humpy because he looked more like the football player than his, quote, father, unquote. Rest in peace, Humpy. There's a whole lot more to racing than just winning. Can I get some unjust winning? And dear Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at MindDog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here, wishing that they were anywhere else today. And that ought to count for something. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get your Church of Last Resort and coffee with the dog gear. Now let's have a little, where is it? Okay, yes, let's have a little bump for the Lord. Dry, it's dry. Damn. Okay. Well, so much for that. Now, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I have a fuck yeah? You know, I think I lost my, I don't know what I lost. I can't, if you're in the control room, I can't hear anything you're doing. So if you're hitting buttons, I can't hear it. I cannot respond. So I apologize. And I do not know why I don't hear anything. Now, before I continue, I'm going to, people who, Before I continue, because I just mentioned Coffee with the Dog, if you or someone you know is worthy or want to be on Coffee with the Dog Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, there's a young lady right here in the corner waiting to tell you how you can be on Coffee with the Dog. All right. I don't know if they can hear me. Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
Summer and fall.
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you, Sister Golden Hair So Bright. Sister Curly Hair So Bright. I know what happened. I'm going to explain to you now. My producer, who is in the background, I'm looking now. His thing is there, but he's been removed from it says not connected. So that's why there was no fuck yes. And I think, okay, gotcha. I see. So he is just he had to step away, and that's what happened. So, but I'm ready. I'm now that I know that I'm in control until he gets back, I'm ready. And I apologize for that slight issue there. But that's live stuff. That's how shit goes when it's live. All right. So thank you, Sister Curly Hair So Bright. Thank you. She's a beautiful young lady. And that reminds me, yesterday I was greeting a young woman, and as I hugged her or went to hug her, she says, "I'm all wet." And before I could say thank you, she added, "I just washed my hands." But for a few seconds, I felt like I could still make a difference in the young woman's nether regions. And it felt good. But that's what happens when you get old. It's the little things that count, like somebody having wet hands. Now, brothers and sisters, today's sermon is called The Vetting Zoo. Okay? Yes, The Vetting Zoo. Now, I know it's a play on The Petting Zoo, and hopefully I can make sense out of this on the fly, because this is one of those things I didn't get a chance to work out in full. I just have a couple of notes, and that's it. So let's see what happens, shall we? Let's learn together, shall we? If you've ever been to a petting zoo, you may have experienced a sense of superiority without realizing that most of the animals would not act this way if you were not there watching them. And they would not act that way if they were not in like little cages and pens and bins and sties, unlike they would be in nature. They would not behave this way if you were not watching them. As a matter of fact, most of those animals, it's funny, I'm pointing like you can see what I see in my head, because I'm seeing this as my head as I'm talking to you, and I'm creating, okay, you don't need to know I'm visualizing a petting zoo. And like right over there is the llamas, right over there are the emus and ostriches, right over there are the pigs, and there's the goats, and look at the horses, okay? That's how I see it in my head. Most of those animals, if they were in their natural habitats, would outlive you if you were in the same habitat and naked just like they are. Most people don't realize that about those animals. They have a sense of superiority. Look, they are in cages and I am free. And I guess it's like the National Guard. And I'm going to make this connection. It's like the National Guard roaming the city of DC with their small numbers and big guns as they walk freely among the animals, the citizens. Okay, not realizing that most of those end guards wouldn't last a day in DC as a civilian. Okay. Also, most of the people in the streets are only there because those nasty end guards showed up in the first place. They would not be out in the streets protesting. They would not be out in the streets throwing rocks or carrying signs. Most of them would be at home watching TV. Or guess what? Since in DC, weed is legal, they'd be sitting on their stoops, maybe smoking a little bit.
You high right now?
That's right. They'd be going, that's it. Most of those people would not be behaving the way they are if those end guards were not in the streets. Okay? If the person in the White House was not trying to turn the city of DC and every other city into a zoo, okay, trying to round up people and put them in cages and boxes so that he can feel safe and secure instead of letting them be what they naturally are, people. If it were not for him trying to create a zoo environment, because he himself is an animal, and so he wants the rest of us to be animals as well. If it were not for that, DC would not have the people in the streets that they have out there right now. He created that zoo environment. Now, the truth is, some of those end guards are just there because they were ordered to be there, okay? And some really didn't want to be there. They'd rather be home in their states, one of those states that the Republican governors sent, decided, you guys, instead of being home with your families, we're going to send you to DC. It's like, what the fuck for? There's nothing. Why? Crime is down in DC. Why? Why are you sending us to DC? Violent crime is down. Murders are down. There's nothing going on in the streets. Why are we going to DC? What? One of Elon Musk's friends got in trouble, got beat up. He was probably asking for it. First of all, he's got the nickname Big Balls. So what? If you don't want to get picked on, if you don't want to get beat up, don't have the name Big Balls, and then don't let people find out who you are. Okay? He was fucking with the government. He was fucking with people's jobs. I'm surprised he only got beat up. If he'd fucked with my job, he'd have gotten more than beat up. I'm going to tell you right now. He'd have gotten an ass whooping. He'd have got whooped. All right? You can't go around fucking up the jobs of thousands of people and not expecting at least one of them to want to take a piece of your hide out. And because of that one person, the rest of DC is being punished. Okay? You know what? If they really want to do some good, okay, maybe find the people that beat them up. Take it out on those people. Because I'm not saying they should have beat them up. If they can find out who they are, punish them. But guess what? You're not going to find out who they are by taking over the streets of DC, because guess what? You know who's not the hero? Donald Trump is not the hero. The National Guard are not the hero. It's the people that beat up Big Balls. They are the hero. Remember when that young man, Luigi, shot and killed that CEO from that healthcare company, whichever one it was? I don't remember. Don't care. Because the healthcare industry has been fucking us over for so long, when he got shot and killed, instead of people going, oh my God, what about his family? Oh my God, what about his kids? Oh my God, what about his widow? They were saying, oh my God, isn't that shooter hot? Oh my God, he shouldn't be in jail. Why? Because instead of us fixing the actual problem, which has been bubbling over for quite some time, you kept covering up for the rich people. And so one poor person, just or unjustly, I'm going to say unjustly, shot and killed him. But he became a hero. And there were people willing to hide him before he was caught. And probably willing to lie for him now, still. And that's what's happening with Mr. Big Balls, okay? Because of what he did and the fact that we know who he is and could get to him, he became the poster child for all the people who lost their jobs in D.C. Yes, they created the zoo, not D.C., but those people in government. They created the zoo environment, okay? So now Mr. Big Balls got beat up. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying I understand it. But if Trump was really interested in law and order, they look for the people who did it instead of tearing the fucking city apart, creating more criminals, pulling over people, arresting people for traffic stops. What in the fuck is National Guard doing? They're trying to help people. They don't belong there. Okay? Now, so some of them are there because they were ordered. They don't want to be there. But some really want to be there and are looking for opportunities. No. They're creating opportunities to be violent. Okay? The Department of Justice recently had to drop a bunch of cases, a bunch of court cases. The people were being charged with assaulting National Guardsmen and assaulting law enforcement. And when they look at the camera footage, it didn't support any of the stories. Most of those instances were instigated by the faceless, badgeless members of law enforcement who are there under Trump's behest or under Trump's orders. Most of them are starting shit and looking for excuses or creating excuses to beat people. And guess what? And when they get in trouble, they yell, "I was hit first. I was hit first. They spit on me." And then you look at the footage, it's like, no, they were just saying, "Get off of me. Leave me alone. Why are you arresting me?" Okay? A lot of those cases are being dropped left and right, because they're looking to start trouble. They're trying to stir up the zoo, you know. Don't be fooled. Okay. I'm kind of reminded. Have you ever been to one of those what are they called? Outside, one of those walk-in bird aviaries. You know, it's like a big cage with hundreds of birds in there, maybe thousands of birds in there. Because they're small, they could all fit in there. And the room is big enough for people to walk in and take a tour and see the birds flying around and everything. And outside the door, there's a sign. First of all, they're charging you to go in there. You're like, okay, you paid to get into the petting zoo. And now you got to pay like another $5 or $10 to go into the walk-in aviary. Because that's not included in the petting zoo part. You get walk in and they give you some bird seed, which they charge you for also. And you get to have some of the birds land in your hand and you get to feed some of the birds. I'm not saying it's not a nice experience. It is. I've done it, paid for it, enjoyed it. But there's a sign outside that says, if a bird shits on you, it's good luck. Okay? No. And you know why I know that? If you were walking down the street right now, let's say you're wearing whatever clothes you're wearing, doesn't matter. Okay, you could be naked. It doesn't matter. If a bird shit on you, what's your first response? Is it, "Ooh, my lucky day"? Or is it, "Son of a bitch"? That's right. The only thing that's changed is that now there's a little sign that says, if the bird shits on you, it's good luck. And because you paid to go in there and you paid for the food and you paid for the experience to be around the birds, when the bird shits on you, instead of saying, "God damn it, bird shit on me," it's like, "Oh, it's good luck." No, it's not good luck. It's no more good luck there than it is out there. But you bought into it because you read the little sign. That's what's going on right now in DC and other places. Trump is putting out a sign that says, if my end guards show up, it's good luck. Look, crime is down. No, he didn't make a difference in those places. Not one difference. Just stirred shit up. Okay? Those people would not be out in the street if it were not for them. And the people that like it just read the sign. And they believe it. And they bought into it because they paid for it. In this case, instead of paying $10 to walk into an aviary, they paid with their vote. They spent their vote on Trump. And so now they're going to buy the sign that says, when I shit on you, it's good luck. And it's not good luck, because if anybody else had shit on you, you'd be upset. If Biden had shit on you the same way Trump is shitting on you, you'd be upset. If Obama shit on you the same way Trump shit on you, you'd be upset. If Kamala Harris shit on you the way Trump shit on you, you'd be upset. If I shit on you the way Trump shit on you, you'd be upset. But because you paid the price, you voted for him, you're looking at the sign and saying, it must be good luck. Because look at that sign. It tells me it's good luck. So I'm going to walk in the aviary and I'm going to say, shit on me, birds. Shit on me. I want your luck. Dumbass people. I'm sorry. If they were dumb, they couldn't read. They could read. They just can't comprehend. So maybe they're not dumb. Maybe they're just ignorant. Now, something happened in the news that I want to bring up. The Justice Department just released like 200 pages of a transcript and some audio of their interview, of the July interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, the imprisoned former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, Deputy Attorney General and Trump attorney Todd Blanche went in and interviewed her. Okay, with a list of questions, very specific questions to ask her so that her answers would not incriminate Trump. All right. Now, just as a reminder, she was convicted in 2021 of recruiting and grooming teenage girls to be sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein and friends. Okay. Now, it says, now she specifically says she never witnessed Trump do anything inappropriate. She was convicted of recruiting and grooming teenage girls to be sexually abused by these people. So of course, what does she mean by inappropriate? I didn't see him do anything inappropriate. Those girls were there to be molested. I didn't see him do anything inappropriate. Those girls were there to give him a blowjob. I didn't see him do anything inappropriate. Those girls were there to stick their fingers in his behind and spank him with Forbes magazine. That wasn't inappropriate. That's the business plan. It would have been inappropriate if they didn't do those things. Blanche specifically asked her, did you see Trump get a massage? Well, if he didn't ask for a massage, then no, she probably wouldn't have seen it. And he probably didn't do it out in public. Okay? I have gotten massages, legitimate massages without a happy ending. And even those massages were behind closed doors and in private. Even though nothing sexual was going on, you could have had those massages filmed and put on Disney in the middle of the day because there was nothing sexual about it. No, there was no body parts hanging out, just willy-nilly. I mean, your willy and your nilly were both covered is what I'm saying. So, yes, someone could say, the Reverend, I never saw the Reverend get a massage because they didn't ask the masseuse or the lady, because the masseuse is a guy, and I guess a woman is a musessette. I don't know. because doesn't matter. The point is, unless you ask the person doing the massage, nobody else is in the room. Okay, now I've been to orgies. I have been to orgies where there were like lots of people doing lots of things. And guess what? Most of the people in the room can't remember what the other people are doing because they were doing their own thing. Okay, I know. I've been to orgies and I can't tell you what anybody else is doing at almost any particular time because I was focusing on what I was doing. Okay, so even if they were in an orgy, unless you're there unless you're running the orgy, I can see you like, okay, we got 7 people over there and 1 person over there. Maybe we could move 2 of those people from that group of 7 over to that group of 1, get something going on over there. That's what the coordinator does. So let's move these 2. You're not needed. Your services are being duplicated over there. So let's take you 2 and put them with that 1 guy over there. There you go. Now it's a party. Okay. So asking her if she saw Trump get a massage, that's not yes, it's a real question. But Trump probably said to Blanche before he went in, said like, Blanche, ask her if she saw me get a massage. I'm sorry. He probably said, Blanche, Todd, do me a favor. Ask her if she ever saw me get a massage because I didn't do any massages. Okay, no massages. And so that's what he asked her. Did she see him get a massage? And the answer is no. He didn't ask her, did you see him get a rub and tug? Nope. He didn't ask her, did you see him get a blowjob? Nope. He asked her things that he knew the answer was what the answers were going to be. Okay. Now, a good attorney only asks questions that he knows what the answers are. A good attorney does that. Now, I'm not saying that Todd is a good attorney, but I am saying that he did something right. He asked questions they knew the answer to. And he didn't ask questions that he didn't want to know the answer to. And there was nobody in there to cross-examine her. Okay? Because I would have asked slightly different questions. My point is that those people out there who are thinking that they've learned something from this, if Trump wanted to exonerate himself from this, let's pretend that he didn't do anything wrong, which we know he did. Why would he need the FBI to scrub his name from those things if he didn't do anything? Okay. Yes, I participated in an orgy, and if they put orgies and they put a guest list down of all the people in the orgies, guess what? I'm not going to be ashamed. You don't have to hide it. You know why? Everybody there was consenting adult. There were no children. There was nobody there who didn't want to be there. And there was nobody being paid to be there. We were all there voluntarily. So release the list. I don't care. I might even remember some of those names. I don't care. So what is Trump hiding? He's not hiding consensual sex. He's not hiding consensual sex. I mean, Trump, I'm sorry, as immature as Trump is, first of all, think about this. And I know I might be going a little bit long, but think about this. How many guys do you know who had consensual sex that don't brag about it? There's not a lot of them, okay? I know I was not a braggart because that's the way I was raised. My mother and my father both raised me to be discreet in my sexual proclivities, which is why you're only now finding out about the orgies, because I'm 66 and I was probably the youngest person in that group. I was 21. Nope, sorry, I was 24. And I know I was probably the youngest person there. So everybody else is probably dead, so I can talk about it. But even then, I'm not telling you their names. I'm just telling you I was there. If somebody wants to list the names, fine. But most guys can't help but brag. Okay, Trump was bragging about grabbing women by the pussy. Okay, he was bragging about being able to walk in and check out Miss Teen USA bodies because he owned the pageant and it was just him inspecting the merchandise. He was bragging about that. Okay, he's gonna brag. That's the kind of person he is. So Why is he ashamed of anything he did there? Because I'll tell you why he's ashamed. I'll tell you why he doesn't want you to know. Because even he is ashamed of what he did. Even he knows what he did was a bridge too far. That's why he does not want you to know what he did. That's it. No other reason. Yeah, they're trying to throw some shade out there and say, well, what did Bill Gates do? Oh, what did Bill Clinton do? What did Bill Hancock do? I don't know. There's all these bills they're looking for. Apparently, they're just looking for bills. I don't know why. I don't look for bills. If it's on the counter, I'll pay it. But I don't go looking for them. They come in a fucking mailbox. And if there's a bill there, I pay it. If not, fuck it. I didn't see it. The point is, and I'm going to wrap this up real soon. Don't be distracted, okay? Don't be distracted. Don't be like one of the caged animals who gets excited because somebody's got food for you, okay? You're still in a fucking cage. Yes, you're excited because somebody's going to throw you some crumbs. You're excited because somebody's going to give you some feed. You're excited because somebody's going to throw you some scraps. But guess what? You're still in a fucking cage. Be free. Don't settle for scraps. Get your own food. Live free. Don't be caught up by the cage of the cult. Live free. Be free. Don't settle for being given a little orts and pieces and morsels by the people who put you in those cages. Free yourself from the cult. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, brothers and sisters, before I close, and I'm going to try to do this best I can because I want to make a little TikTok short to promote, somehow promote the show, do a little TikTok to invite people. So I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel and Facebook page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. DrRevJellyRolle, just like that. Facebook and YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Okay. And if you have a private event, I encourage you to go to gigsalad.com and check out GD Fenderson. Next time you need to hire a comedian for a private event, he is available. Except for right now, he's busy. But most of the time he's available. So, brothers and sisters, on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona Roll, my kids Cinnamon Roll and Jelly Jr. Roll, our cat Tootsie Roll and our dog Stop Dropping Roll, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. Brothers and sisters, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Thank you.